Hey guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Anime here, and I'm going to do my review of Eden Zero Chapter 39. So, to start off, I like how the beginning and the end of the chapter, it gives us glimpses into basically Hermit's past, but both pretty much before and basically after. She pretty much left Ziggy, and which... And what I like about this is that it shows us what Hermit was like back then, and what Hermit was like back then before before something drastic happened, and before that drastic shift in her beliefs, her ideologies, just everything about humanity changed. And while we didn't get everything yet, I think we can say that we definitely got enough in order to know where this particular backstory is going, on top of giving us a better understanding of what caused that, again, that drastic shift in her outlook on the world. And honestly, if the little preview of next chapter is any indication, and the chapter of next chapter is pretty much C7, and I don't want to make too many assumptions, but if basically C7 is going to be the chapter title for next week, then I think what Hermit was kind of tricked into making was a bomb of some kind. That's basically just my little theory on it. Just based on the C7 thing. That's kind of where I'm going with it right now. But yeah, which in a way it would. And if that is the case, it would make the most sense in order for her as a driving motivator, in order to see like the kind of destruction that humans can actually do to machines. Like it would be one of the driving. It would definitely be a good like driving motivator as to why she gave up on humanity. Also, Mashima, fuck you. You fuck you, just fuck you, man. Like, in this chapter, we pretty much got to see Valkyrie, but he's still keeping her actual reveal a secret. Like, he basically put a bit of a speech bubble over her face, and like, Mashima, fuck you, just pretty much give us the reveal of what Valkyrie looks like already. I want to know what she looks like. We already got a body design, I guess you could say. So already the body design definitely looks badass. But yeah, I want to know. I want to know what she looks like already. Just show it to us, Mashima. But I guess the fact that he's keeping it a secret is just going to make the build up and the reveal itself all the more epic, I guess. And it is going to be an epic reunion between for basically Homura and Valkyrie for sure, I'm sure. Also, going off that brief bit of backstory we got, one thing I really like about this chapter is that Mashima's follow through with Hermit, and how even after everything that went on in the game, she's pretty much still she's still pretty much in the exact same place emotionally as she was before. In fact, honestly, if anything, I'd say that Hermit is in an even worse state now than she probably was before. Like pretty much just with being on this ship and on Eden Zero again, and being having this reunion with both Witch and sister and Ivory. It's probably brought some really terrible, it's brought some emotions and some memories back to the surface that I don't think that she wanted to face again, and the thing is, I know with something like this, it kind of seems counterproductive, basically considering all that did happen inside the game and as well as what's currently going on. You'd think that she would say, "Look, I'll help you again here," but the more I thought about it, like in terms of Hermit's whole what she's currently going through right now, I do kind of realize it makes it makes more sense in the context of the narrative that Mashima is going with, because it because it and the more I thought about it, the more I realized the whole because the more I thought about it, the more I realized the whole situation on basically the planet of Digitalis and inside the game, it was all for pretty much in terms of Hermit's side of the whole thing. It was just an alliance of convenience for her. She was pretty much. It was kind of one of those things where Shiki just kind of forced her in order to fight alongside them. But so in that situation, she said, you know what, I'll help you here, but I'm not going to be your friend. I'm not going to do any. I think I do realize now that that's kind of more what Mashima was going with. It just took it just took a little bit to kind of find a click in me. And while I am and the thing is, while I'm sure that from Shiki is going to be able to convince Hermit in order to finally realize that he cares for her and whatnot. I think I'm sure that Shiki is going to be able to convince Hermit that everyone on Eden Zero actually cares for her, or at the very least that he does. I definitely still like this whole route that Mashima has gone, because in a way it's actually kind of refreshing. Like, pretty much because it pushes. I like this route that he's gone because it pushes just how far gone that Hermit is, and just how much that Hermit has given up on everything. It's not just humanity. She's basically given up on life in general. Like, Hermit is a legitimately broken person, and if, in going off what pretty much Ivory and Witch said, her physical body is there, but her soul is still broken. And yeah, I definitely like, I just love how Mashima has. I love how Mashima didn't really even puss out on continuing with this, like on continuing with this little story thread. I do like that he is still kind of is continuing it on for just a little bit longer. Now we get to meet it's the true face of basically we get to meet the true face of Jamiroff in the chapter, who is Spider, a self-proclaimed genius hacker who has now taken command of the Eden Zero in an attempt to destroy it. And while the revelation he's a hacker isn't all that surprising, considering that he was able to tap into the cheat codes in pretty much when he was inside the game and doing it even without getting banned. The character design of Spider in itself, like his Spider's like real self, it kind of is kind of odd. Let's put it that way, because kind of is weird on one hand, because on one hand I do like that I think what Mashima was going with Spider's character design is that he was probably going with taking a jab at the stereotypical gamer with Spider's appearance, but at the same time it has me going, who the hell let this weirdo who the hell will even let this weirdo even join an organization like pretty much the Six Demon Generals? Or the Galactic Six Demon Generals. And I ask that legitimately because I can actually take his avatar even more seriously than the man himself, despite the fact that he is currently doing something very impressive of managing to destroy the Eden Zero with just like his hacking skills alone. Like, that his skills in himself are impressive, but it's like, his design makes me say, who the hell even let this guy even join an organization like pretty much the Six Demon Generals, like the Galactic Six Demon Generals? Like, I can't. Who the hell was drunk off their ass in order to let a weirdo like this join? I don't get it at all. Although, now, having said that, Rebecca does make it a point of saying that Spider is one of the top 5 most famous hackers in the Sakura cosmos. So I do like how the setup is saying that there are four others with skills that are as impressive as Spider as, and just the. I do like how this does set up that there are four others like Spider as well, and the fact that Spider himself is a hacker. I like how it does bring a bit of variety into the kinds of threats that we're gonna see now in the series going forward. Like it isn't just gonna be like the usual guys of punching of just powerhouses. It is gonna be like legitimate people who have intelligent skill, who have skills that revolve around intelligence, hacking, all that kind of stuff. So it does add a lot of variety now, I think. But yeah, as far as Spider himself, I just can't take the motherfucker seriously. I can't. I'm sorry. And good old Mashima, the dude gives us our daily dosage of fan service, and he always delivers. And it's not just with one scene, but two. The first, obviously, was that sweaty dive suit scene, which, yeah, I like the boobage. I like this boob. I like the display. I don't know if I'm too big of. I don't know if I've ever been too big a fan of the whole sweaty fan service thing, but it's good as is. And the second one that is that upwards view shot of which looking at the terminals, where we get a very blatant view of her boobage. And I'll be the first to admit, it wasn't until this chapter that I actually noticed how well endowed Witch actually is. Like she's pretty much set for life there. I'll say that much. Okay, but now that I've gotten that out of my system, one thing I'm legitimately curious about in this chapter is that once Hermit finally crosses that threshold of trusting Shiki, what exactly is she going to do in order to save the ship? Because we've seen her hacking abilities, but I assume fixing the ship is going to entail a different kind of power altogether. And what makes me even more curious about this is that obviously it was the same kind of power that she was tricked into using to help those humans. So, well, yeah, whatever kind of power she's going to be using in order to save the ship, I'm curious what it is. If it's going to be her hacking abilities or something else. Like, yeah, so a nice little expectation there of what we can kind of predict of what we want. But yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Mr. Crunchyroll. Dead Knight of Enemy, signing off. Later, guys.